Billin of Town Murf.
Top Billin.
Hey, yo, I come in peace, right? Now, I know people thought that when this news dropped, your boy was going to come in here and start gloating, talking about, I told you people so. It's been almost 24 hours, and I'm just now talking about it. You know why? Because what's understood does not need to be explained. And real people with real football knowledge know that Drew Lock is a Jag. He was just another guy. I am so glad that at least that's gone. I'll be honest with you, I'd rather him and Geno both be gone so I could cover this team and talk about shit that I care about, like talking about trench work and stuff like that, right? Hand-to-hand combat type stuff. Not having to talk about QBs all the time, right? This shit is boring to me. That's casual fan stuff. The football game, as we know it, is usually won or lost in the trenches. Quarterback play is mostly derived from how your offensive line performs. All right, we've seen terrible QBs look better because they're playing behind really good offensive lines that can run the ball, right? And they can take care of the ball, they can hit timely shots and all that. It is what it is. Seattle focus on that line of scrimmage, which it seems that they're going to be doing. They have Geno Smith, at least as a bridge quarterback, and they got that Jag Drew Lock up out of there. Him and his 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions and 81 rating that had people going nuts. He was like Paul Wall. He had the internet going nuts.
I got the internet going nuts.
People didn't give a flip about no damn Drew Lock. People just didn't like Geno Smith, so they'd take anything, right? They like the desperate guy at the party. We get all the 9s and 10s. The desperate guy's like, thank you, man, thank you. At least leave me some twos and 3s, right? So Drew Lock, arrivederci, right, off of this channel, right? Your man, J.J. McCarthy, right? Now I'm starting to see his name there. I'm feeling kind of like the same like with Drew Lock with J.J. McCarthy. And I'll tell you this here, right? Not to say that the Seahawks shouldn't draft J.J. McCarthy. I think that the expectations should be tempered, though, right? Because I know when they draft somebody like J.J. McCarthy, it's going to come with wanting him to play right away. Let me show you something, right? Before I get to dropping your boy Spencer Rattler's Pro Days drop, Spencer Rattler is one of these guys I think would work perfect for the Seattle Seahawks being drafted in the later rounds, allowing them to focus on the line of scrimmage in the meanwhile. You don't have to go out and rush and grab a J.J. McCarthy. I don't find him to be one of these upper echelon type quarterbacks. I believe you'll find a J.J. McCarthy in the next draft if you even wanted to wait. But I don't find him to be much better than Spencer Rattler. I found him to be one of these guys who happen to be on a damn loaded team. Top 3 loaded team in the country. Now, this isn't anything new for me. I'll give you a little background on this here. I have a couple of Discord chats where I have some long-time cats that we just talk ball all day. We talk a lot of shit all day, period, right? But we definitely talk ball. And over the last 2 years, we were all remarkable like, damn, J.J. McCarthy is mad suspect. He's the type of cat when you get into a big game, they tailor it back for him. Some of these guys, they get into a big game and they ramp it up for the quarterback and they want the quarterback to try to put the team on their back. J.J. McCarthy feasts on weak-ass defenses, but then when they play good defenses, we always like, he may be the reason why they lose, right? So don't think that I'm just doing this because it has to do with the Seattle Seahawks, right? So I'm a Big Ten fan. I watch Big Ten football. Penn State in the Big Ten, Rutgers in the Big Ten. I watch everything in the Big Ten. So if you go by a game-by-game basis, I understand these teams that they're playing and the defenses that they're playing. So 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions right there. Nothing to really phone home about, right? Because people were making fun of Joe Milton, and he had 20 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. But this guy has a couple of more touchdowns and 1 less interceptions, and he has the internet going nuts.
I got the internet going nuts.
But if you really look at it, let's break it down. First and foremost, where are the good defenses that he was playing? He got away with playing a lot of weak defenses to really start their schedule. One of the more underrated defenses is actually my Rutgers Scarlet Knights right here, right? So he's 15 out of 21 for 214 yards, 1 touchdown. It's all good. Rutgers can't play offense, so they were going to wilt under the pressure anyway. So 214 yards, You know what I'm saying? It's not bad. It wasn't a bad performance by any stretch of the imagination or whatever like that. Rutgers not an upper echelon defense, but it's a better defense than pretty much everything you see right here up until you get to, bam, my Penn State Nittany Lions. They were petrified to let this dude throw the ball. They ran the ball the entire game. This was a huge pivotal game, obviously going against Penn State on the road and everything, and he threw 8 passes. Now, he completed 7 of them, but they were all like hitches. 60 yards he had out of those 7 completions. 60 yards. In your most pivotal game, you dial it back to not lose the game from the hands or from the arm of your quarterback. Maryland as well. Maryland playing much better defense these days, right? Them Terps, baby. Shout-outs to them Terps. Shout-outs to Baltimore, baby. Shout-outs to PG County as well. But listen, 23 attempts, your man had 0 touchdowns and 1 interception, right? They ended up winning the game because they're Michigan. Michigan just got it like that, right? Michigan done stepped it up. They stepped it up on the hardball. They had themselves very much like Georgia, in my opinion. Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, them type teams like that, right, as far as the talent goes, right? Then you go to Ohio State. He did pretty good, right? You can't say nothing. 16 out of 20, 148 yards, though, out of 16 completions. You completed a high number of your passes right there. Oh, yeah, on the record, in the Maryland, right, playing a better defense, he only completed 52% of his passes. So let that sink in as well. Iowa, hit or miss defense, usually play pretty good defense, but they did let him put the ball in the air. I'll give him that. 30 times there, but he only had 147 yards. These are your upper echelon teams, right? These are your ranked teams, except for Maryland, but Maryland should have been ranked. They were playing some good football there. Now, he went off against Alabama, but Alabama had a suspect defense that quite a few teams went off on. This was one of your worst Alabama defenses, in my opinion. It's, even with the talent aspect of it, too. Not the most talented Alabama defense. Definitely still talented, though. So 221 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. But if you watch that game against Washington in the national championship, they were back to being petrified to let him move the ball. Only 10 completions, a 55.6% completion percentage, 140 yards. And they still won 34-13 because they had the damn line of scrimmage on lock going against Washington, right, and the kind of soft brand of football that it was playing. I knew they weren't going to mess with Michigan. Michigan is just too hardcore. It's just one of those deals. I'm always going to go with the team with the more sound line of scrimmage opposed to these cats that are playing a little bit more pretty finesse ball, right? That's just me there. But that's something I remember in the semifinal game last year. I was like, TCU can put it up, and Michigan's defense been kind of struggling. And if you see here, this was, to me, his best game as far as production goes. They put it up 34 times. He had 343 yards, but then he threw a couple of interceptions, right? So I give him a pass. Obviously, that was his first year starting all the way through. But if you look right here, man, they're playing some pretty weak teams, right? There's some weak teams on the Big Ten schedule as far as the defenses goes. And even in Penn State game, that one, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, right? That's the best defenses. The best defense that he sees all year is Penn State for the past couple of years. And you can see what he did against that defense, right? So 200 total yards probably in 2 games, no touchdowns and 1 interception, right? Think about that. So I say all that to say this. I don't know one standout trait that JJ McCarthy has, but he's been very solid, I would say solid, in college. Does that mean he's ready to step into the NFL and play right away? I honestly don't believe so, but you don't know until you know. I do know that if he's drafted, especially that high, people are going to want him to play. Maybe you end up rushing him for no reason. If the fans could be patient, which we know fans won't be, the minute Geno Smith or whomever the quarterback is throws an interception, they're going to be clamoring for J.J. McCarthy because they saw him have success in college, although that success was very much catered to him. Right? It was placated to him because he wasn't doing it in the big games, and now you expect him to go to the NFL where it's going to be even tougher and right away start. So if you think that you have designs on a Super Bowl next year, You can justify anything. Maybe you be like, oh, maybe he's JJ. I'm sorry, maybe he's Brock Purdy or something like that, right? Brock Purdy had a lot of experience, and he was the guy who Iowa State would have him in his brain and shoulder and arm be the catalyst to them winning. JJ McCarthy, not so. So is he some type of super great athlete? Nah, I don't think he's that either. I think he's an above average athlete. So what is it? He's actually kind of wiry as well. You would think he'd need to put on some weight. He looks that part. I just think that he could sit for a year and be the guy, but I still ultimately don't know what he will be. So I don't know. To me, it's more a buyer beware on him, to where a guy like Spencer Rattler drafted in the 3rd round or something like that, people wouldn't be clamoring for him to play right away. And he definitely has some honing in to do with his skill set. And he will be a good person, I believe, to be behind a Geno Smith for a year. So that's just me there. But won't you check out his pro day and let me know what you think about all that. It's your boy Jersey Murf, man. Just putting it out there, right? We're just doing conversation here. So I mean, if you can't handle conversation, this ain't the place for you, all right? Let's get it. Change of plans. I released that Spencer Rattler as his own video here. I didn't know that I went this long, so that would be kind of a waste of a video right there, all right? Boy Jersey Murf signing off, man. As always, man, make sure you tip your waiter because you know I'll be serving the hibachi. Much love to everybody out there. Salute.
Top Billin of Town Murf.
Top Billin, villains.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.